Hi, I'm Daniel with etrailer, and today we're going to take a look at, I'm going to show you how to install the Lippert Solid Step RV Steps for our 2021 Grand Design Reflection. Most RVs will have these fold-out steps. Now these are fine, but usually the bottom step is pretty high off the ground. You want about 7 inches, so this is pretty high. And I'll just get up here, and these aren't supported on the ground, so these are a bit wiggly. And as you can see, I'm actually moving the entire RV. So these really aren't ideal, especially if you have little kids running around. You don't want them falling down these. Or if you had one to drink, these might be a little difficult to navigate your way into your RV. Now I'll get these folded up and show you the Lippert Solid Steps here. And these don't fold at all, so they're a lot more sturdy, and they rest right on the ground. And as you can see, these are a lot more stable because I'm pushing on the ground instead of bouncing up that whole trailer. And you're not likely to slip because they've added grip tape on the front and back, which is really nice, so you're gonna have a lot more traction. Now these steps won't impede your door function whatsoever, so if you're going to bed late at night, you don't have to pull these in. You can just keep them out and lock up your door. Now you do have a wider step up top here, so you can just fully stand on here if you're needing to open the door, unlock it, or anything like that. Now when you're ready to hit the road or move to your next campsite, these are made out of aluminum, so they're pretty light. You can just lift them up, walk them into place. It'll rest on that door flange, and you can lock it with that yellow handle, and then you're good to go. Now something else to consider is Lippert has a solid step handrail that you can actually attach to the steps themselves. So if you're going up these, maybe it's a little slippery, you can start using that handrail a lot sooner because usually your factory ones are a little further up. Now these steps are really easy to install. The kit comes with everything you need. You just need a couple of wood screws that go right down into the plate and into your floor, and they're all attached to a long piano hinge, so you can rotate this in and out. You will have to make some few adjustments to get this to line up, but other than that, that's really it. But if you don't have the time or tools to do this yourself, you can check out our dealer locator. We can find a professional in your area to get this installed for you. Now, if you do have any further questions about if these are going to be the right size for your setup, you can reach out to us here at etrailer. But other than that, let's get into the install, and I'll show you how these get installed. Now, before we get started on the install, we want to make sure that we have the right steps for your door opening. So I'm just going to get a tape measure and measure the opening of the door here. So just check your stairs and make sure you have the right size for your corresponding opening. Now the next measurement you want to get to help you determine if you have the right steps or help you determine to purchase the right steps in the first place is the ground to the bottom of the door, and we're sitting right at 36 inches, and our steps today are rated at 35 to 44 inches, so we're all good there. Now if there's any thresholds between your flooring and your door, you're going to want to remove those. So I just got a Phillips head. I'm just going to get this removed. Just get this set over here. Now we can put our stairs in place. Now before we do this, you want to make sure your camper is level. So just make sure it's level as possible. And this bracket on the end here, it's on a piano hinge. Just fold that in, and now we can lift this in place. And I can already tell it's not seated on our door here. So on the bottom, we'll just need to adjust these feet. There's just going to be a pin. I'll do this on both sides just to make sure it's sitting correct. So we want this bracket to be down on your silver metal here. So I just push the feet down until I got it as close as possible on each side. And you want this radius to be pushed in as far as possible as well. Now if your camper is a little bit higher up, you can put these pins back to secure the feet, but ours are all the way up, so we don't have to do that. Now we need to center the steps between the door. I just put a piece of painter's tape and got center. So I just measured between, put a mark right at the center. Now I'll measure between each side of the door and scoot this over until we get it perfectly centered. Now that I've got it centered, I'm just going to put some tape just to mark where it's at, just in case this moves around on us. I'll know exactly where it needs to be. I'll shut our door and make sure that this shuts properly, and we're looking good. Sometimes you will need to trim a little bit off the end here if you're having some hang-ups, but we're looking okay. We can start securing the steps down to the floor. First, you want to determine what thickness of plywood you have on your RV here. We have a 1/2 inch plywood, which is pretty common, so we'll just use the wood screw that comes in the kit. But if you have a thin floor, it does come with a bracket that you can put on underneath, and then you can use a through bolt with a nut on the end to secure it. Now there's going to be some caps, so I'm just going to get a flathead and get these taken out on both ends here. Now I'll take a 5/32 drill bit, and this hole lines up with the bracket underneath, and we can secure 2 bolts with it. So get this lined up in the center. And I'll repeat that on the other side here. Now I'll just take one of my screws that comes in the kit and get this screwed down. With the stairs fastened in 2 spots, we can lift these up. Now you want to put those pins in if you already haven't done that, so these don't slide out when you're lifting it. I'll go ahead and lift it all the way up. And now we have to adjust our bracket here so this will hit our door jamb. So I got a 11mm socket. I'm just going to loosen these bolts up. And then I'll slide this down. I'll have to loosen this one as well. This is connected to our pin. With that, can set it correctly. Tighten these down. Tighten this down as well. And I'll do this on the other side. And now it's locked into place. Our latches are past where they need to be. At this point, you can mess with it and kind of dial it in to get to where you want it. I'm probably going to scoot this in a little bit, because if this door is just in just a bit, it'll hit. I'll just scoot that in, and you can adjust the latches by loosening this bolt and going in and out with those. With everything adjusted, we just want to give the door a close, make sure it's not getting hung up on anything, and we're looking good. Now we can get our drill and put the rest of our hardware in. With all of our hardware in, I'll just vacuum up all the sawdust. Now this part is optional, but I have their threshold, and I just did a test fit real quick to see if this will go back on. And you want to make sure that this isn't going to interfere with anything. Make sure you put the steps down and close the door. Make sure everything is still working smoothly before you put something back on like this. If you don't want to put this on, or if you don't have one, you can just caulk the seam here. But for our neighbor today, I'll just put this back on. Now finally, we can put those caps back in on the front piece of metal here. And once you've done that, you're good to go. You can start using your Lippert Solid Steps on your 2021 Grand Design Reflection.